All right, we are snowed in, folks. Hey, Lee. Oh, she loves the snow. Well, this is not good to have our driveway like this, you know, in case we ever need to get out of here for emergencies or something. But man, oh man, I cannot get out. It's just a huge snowdrift here. White. All I see is white. Snowplow knocked over our mailbox too. I'm gonna go try and fix that. Actually, it's rush hour right now. I don't think I'm gonna go on the road. You never know. These crazy drivers around here. Well, today is Thursday, March 16th, and it's the day after the storms. We had 2 days of snow, and I was able to shovel the whole driveway. I got it all done. Just gonna put this in the car for my wife to bring to the post office today, and she's gonna drive that in for me. Sorry I didn't show you guys what I sold. There was like about 5 things I packaged. Basically, it's just this is actually a funny story. This is the Keurig water tank. It got sent back to me, and it's because it was the person's address was incorrect. So they gave me more money, and I'm going to ship it back out to them. But anyways, a couple other things sold down there. Another magnifying glass, and a pressure switch from a furnace, and a door switch from a furnace, and a vacuum brush set from a canister vacuum cleaner. There was like 4 of these things that sold all together. Anyway, so that's all sold, and she's going to bring that in for me today. So today I'm just going to tinker with some of this stuff out here. I'm going to try and get through it. Get through all this snow and, you know, strip it for parts and copper and whatnot. First I'm going to bring my truck, which is over there. I'm going to bring it over here, park it, so I can load it up with scrap steel. Before that though, I have to go rescue our mailbox, which got knocked over by the snowplow. Real beautiful day. Wind isn't too bad. Oh, here comes the snowplow now. I'm gonna wait for him to pass. This road can be a bit dangerous. Friendly guy. I don't know what he's doing. He's not really plowing right now. Not even putting down any salt. But here's my mailbox. It's not too bad. It's full of snow. I can still use this. Just gotta bend it back into shape a little bit. Good as new. They already replaced this once before. They replaced it a couple months ago. And yeah, full of snow still. The city, the snowplow banged into it and broke our other one. So they came out and replaced this one. So this is a new one. Should be good for now. There we go, good as new. Alrighty, just taking apart this big bad beast. It's a big oil burner furnace. And I took the squirrel cage off, and there was just this one motor I got out of it, and this squirrel cage. But you know, I asked them if the furnace was working before they took it out, and they said yeah, it was. But that the basement had flooded, so but they didn't didn't really say like if this whole thing was underwater or not, but I'm gonna say it was, because you know, if you look here on the motor, it's all rusted there, and the aluminum is also kind of you know how aluminum gets like a pitted look once it's been like an erosion type look. Anyways, you know what I mean. So there's not too much from this that I'm going to resell. You know, maybe this transformer, I'll have to do some research on how to test these. You know, I have sold these before in the past, and it's a good thing to try and list. But so I don't know if that was underwater or not. But I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to connect it, and I'm going to do a bit of research on like how to see if this is something that can be resold as good working. But anyways, I'm going to take off this whole assembly, and we'll take a better look at it, take it all apart for scrap. So I took off the whole thing here, and you can see that's where the burner sat. This is full of oil. You need to be careful of that when you're tackling this sort of stuff. This little copper line with some brass pieces on it, that's full of oil as well. This is the transformer. So I'm going to take that off and do some further testing. You know, there's just 2 screws there. But all of this is cast aluminum here, so it's a lot of cast. And then this fistful of wires there, and this little switch. Now, I've sold these in the past. They can usually retail for like 50 or 60 bucks. So this one, yeah, maybe I'll unplug it just for fun, take a closer look at it, but I'm really hesitant on putting this one up for sale, just because, like I said, this furnace may have been underwater. But after that, yeah, so you just got a little bit of cast and a little bit of brass, a little bit of copper. You can, and that of course can be a transformer, maybe like an AC adapter. Some yards would take that as. But this is what I have for this copper line. See, I have it all rigged up like this, going way up there. So I'm just letting it drain out all the furnace oil. It gets put in there. And so I just keep that in my shed for all like you know, garbage gasoline that I get in lawnmowers and stuff. I just keep filling that up. And so sometimes what I'll use that for is like if I have get a fire started, because I burn lots of brush and whatnot. But otherwise, you just send that in for recycling. Most you know, automotive places would take that for you, I would imagine. Also, I just have a big pile of wire on this guy, you know, all that, and then number 1 insulated wire. And this is like a fan relay, a fan control for the furnace, and I've sold those before as well. You can get a little bit of cash for that. Anyways, stay tuned. I'm going to keep scrapping this guy out. And this is the oil filter. So you see there's brass thing there, and you know, piece of brass and copper. So that's just going to be full of really really gross oil. So that's there's like a spongy type of thing inside of there. So what I'm going to do, I'll take this off, but then I'm just going to plug the holes, and I'm going to keep this with my car oil filters. And so when I go in for bring all my hazardous waste in, I'm going to put that in with my car oil filters and get it properly disposed of. This is what I have in a bench vise, is a scrapper's best friend here. So see, I got this wire clamped in there, so I want to take it out of this sleeve, right? So normally that might be pretty hard, but so what all you do is I clamp it in there, and I just pull it right out. Easy peasy. Okay, now this is a piece of Romex. See, I put one of the wires, I put the ground in the vise. Just tighten it up real quick, and you grab it, and all you do is just pull it. So you just grab and pull. There you go. That's how I always try and do that, because you know, if the shorter pieces is different, but when you have longer pieces, I find it's easier to do that than using a knife. Okay, so I got the This is the line, the fuel line. It's all copper. See there, it's stretching out. So, whoops, it came out. Let me put that back in. So I like to put it up here in the vise, and it just gives it a little bit more stability when you're stripping it. So I just go like that, and it's a lot easier to do when you have two hands. But let's see how it goes. See how easy it is rather just having it in the vise. You'll even do it with one hand. Anyways, you get the idea. And then I just keep going all the way down like that. There we have it. It's been scored. So now we just have to rip it all the way off. Yeah, I probably missed a spot right there. Yeah. Anyways, comes off easily. Easy enough. There. There's our nice piece of copper line. So, don't be surprised if your yard only gives you a number 2 copper price for that, because there's going to be lots of oil residue inside. So just a heads up. Alright, all done. So let's see what we got. Motor. It's with cast aluminum on it, and still has the steel cage, but that's okay. So I'll get electric motor price for that. That's a steel. That's the chamber for burning combustion chamber or whatever. This is the cast aluminum housing. It's not as heavy as I thought it would be, but it's still good. It's still clean cast, and it's held together by aluminum rivets. No piece of aluminum. So, anyways, aluminum's gone up. I think it's at 40 cents a pound right now. So yeah, I'll bring that in, and they'll probably get turned into some pop cans someday. You never know. Anyways, moving along. This is the whatchamacallit. I guess that's just where all the oil comes out of. See, that's the spray nozzle. So that would hook on there. So you could actually reuse something like this if you wanted to make like a waste oil burner. You could use this contraption. You could actually just like keep it on and use that to like burn waste oil for your shop or something. So that's just it. There's a little bit of aluminum on it, I guess, but it's just shreddable steel. Here's all the brass, little bits and pieces from the burner, whatnot, all that stuff. That's all steel screws. As far as parts go, that's the that hooked onto the motor right there. I don't think you'll get any money for that, but I'm going to try and sell the transformer. Take a closer look at that. That's the fan relay. Usually it comes with housing on it, so it's incomplete. I don't think I'm going to sell that, but just so you know, if you guys do come across a furnace that's in good working order, you can try and sell that. A little piece of copper line, and that's it. Oh, it's just this thing here is the yeah, you see it's still leaking oil. This thing, I have one of these up in my store right now, and I don't think I'll ever sell it. I took the whole thing apart, the one in my store right now, and see, it's made in Denmark. It's called from Danfoss. I took the whole thing apart, I cleaned it all, and I put the whole thing back together, and it's still leaking oil. It's just, there's little crevices that you'll never get all the oil out. So just so you know, it's always going to be leaking oil forever. Anyway, so that's it. And so I'm going to load up, try and get this thing back on the truck. And I'm going to cut up that copper line into little manageable pieces. And then I'll start making a scrap load for tomorrow. So it's about 6 o'clock now. This is what my truck looks like now. I got these, I got 2 hot water tanks and 2 furnaces up there right now. And I've just been taking off little bits and pieces. These are the parts that I'm going to try and look closer at and resell. Little motors and like this is a little igniter from the hot water tank. Little relay switches and stuff that I've been managing to pull off. Stuff like that. So I'm going to bring that down, take a closer look, and try and list it on eBay, see if it's worth it. And a couple of scrap motors I took off as well. And, you know, just fiddling around with little stuff like the aluminum, took the screws out of that. And I just finished taking this apart. These are always really nice. Except I have a whole bunch of these at the side over here. And it's all under snow now, so I'm gonna have to wait. Everything is under snow. It's a real big pain from the last snowfall that we had. There's a whole bunch of rads right here, but won't see them until the springtime. So I'll let it pile up, and then once all this stuff melts away, which will hopefully be soon, I'll chop them all up, bring them in for aluminum rad price. I think this snow will be around for at least 3 more weeks. It's kind of a bummer. It's almost April. Usually this time last year was all gone by this time. Anywho, I'm going to try and fit one more furnace up here, so I'll get this little guy, maybe pull him out. Yeah, so something like this, when you look at it, you know, that motor's broken, even though it's spinning really nicely. I think I saw the cap. Anyways, I don't think it's down there. But yeah, maybe the board. But it's kind of a generic board. I think I have lots of boards like that in my store already. And then there's the motor here. Spins half decent. So I'll take a closer look at it once I get up on the truck and see if I can salvage anything from that. Otherwise, it's just a lot of insulated copper wire. Nice some other stuff in here. Cool. Friday, March 17th, and I got a nice load on the truck, heading for the scrapyard. So what do we have here today? Got 2 hot water tanks, 1 oil burning furnace, and 2 gas furnaces, and a big or little chest freezer. Actually, yeah, there's a lot of room in there still. I'm gonna throw some other little bits and pieces inside, so I'll get a little bit more weight on there. And then I got bread maker and a couple other small pieces. So that's gonna be a nice little load of shred steel today. And I have it. I couldn't quite close it, so I put a strap on the back. So it was just a little bit over. There we have it, folks. I'm all back home, ready to scrap this stuff out. Hot water tank, air conditioner, a whole bunch of scrap steel back there, ductwork. So I'm going to get to this. I'm going to take off the motor on that and the gas valve on the hot water tank. And then this guy is just heavy, very, very heavy, very old unit. I don't see a date on it, but yeah, I can imagine it's got to be at least 30 years old, this thing. Well, before I get to that truck, I have a couple things to ship out. So here's 2 things I sold yesterday. First one, I'm sure everybody recognizes that. It is a compressor from a refrigerator. So this is made by Matsushita, if I said that right. Matsushita, yeah. So this is a refrigerator that we used for a while. We had a fridge before that and it broke, and so what I did is I went on Kijiji and I found a free refrigerator, and it was really old and it wasn't very nice, but I went and picked it up just so we could use it temporarily, and we ended up using that fridge for probably 6 or 7 months before we found a nice one that we liked. Anyway, so yeah, that's from that old fridge, and after we were done with it, I just kind of tore it apart. So This is the copper line, and what I did was I capped that off with this is a shrink wrap, so that you can use on electronics. There's two of them, so I crimped them onto each other there, and you just take a heat gun and it shrinks the plastic, so that way none of the oil is going to leak out while you're shipping it. Same with that one right there. Yeah, so it has a plate on it and everything. I've sold those before. It's surprisingly they do sell. This one is going local. It's going to Quebec, and they paid $69.95 for it. I would say that's approximately $50 American. Yeah, so they do sell. If you get one that's in good working condition, I would suggest you try and list it. This other one, I actually just packaged it up before I forgot. I'm not going to take it out. This is just a thermocoupler. It's like a furnace igniter assembly that you get from a furnace. Yeah, so that's how I package those things, is I just wrap it in bubble tape, bubble wrap, whatever, and then I put a piece of cardboard around it, and then I'll put it in this envelope here, and then ship it off just like that. So anyways, that sold for $35. So those are the two things that sold yesterday. I haven't had any sales yet today, so this week has been a bit slow. So it's okay. I'm just trying to get caught up in some other things. These are some things that I'm listing right now, or trying to look at. Interesting stuff here. I'll just show you this real quick because I was looking at it last night and I think it's kind of funny. So this is a Philips auto color. It's like a service manual for an old TV set that was, from the 1960s. It's really obsolete stuff, but I'll show you this one picture that I thought was funny. It's in the very back. I actually put it on my Twitter account last night, if I can find it here. It's right over here. So in the back of this manual, you see this old picture here. I think it's kind of funny. So there's the picture there. There's a serviceman working behind a television set, and the caption says, "Keep cover on high voltage when set is in operation to avoid X-ray radiation. We recommend a chest X-ray once a year, but not every day." So yeah, I never thought of those old TV sets would ever give off radiation. That's funny stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to get this stuff packaged up. I have my box all ready here for this, and just have to use lots and lots of newspaper to ship one of those. So anyways, I'm going to get that packaged up and then go work on the truck after this. Okay, I'm going to start ripping this thing apart, starting with all these little screws. I'm just going to do all the ones on the outside here, and then we're going to peel it all back and see what's inside. Alright, all done scrapping out that air conditioner unit. It has some really big, heavy steel. Like, this stuff is really thick, really heavy gauge steel compared to the other stuff that's the newer stuff these days. But with these smaller ones, with the older units, I find that these the aluminum copper rads are quite small compared to what we see today in the newer stuff. That came out of that unit, and again, with these older ones, I don't like them because A, you don't get, the rads aren't as big. B, it takes a long time to scrap them out. There's so many screws, and I just find it's really tough to get at. But I took the motor out, the fan motor. I just used a Sawzall to chop off the fan blade. And we got a little bit of copper from the compressor motor. Not too much. A couple pieces of chunky brass. Go with the brass bucket. Again, those are hard to take off too. I had to take a Sawzall and just like rip into the steel. Yeah, this is the relay contactor switch. These are pretty good for silver contacts. I'll show you. I'll get a pair of snips here. So you just want to chop that off, and then see, there it is there. So this one doesn't seem to have it actually. You see right there, oh yeah, there they are there. That's the silver contact. So you can take those out. You just have to kind of rip into this whole thing. And I collect those too. No, I don't always take these apart, but sometimes I do. A couple of capacitors still attached there. That's just scrap steel. The big compressor motor is underneath all that. Also got just a little bit of, that's number 1 wire, number 2 wire. And yeah, that's about it. I always find dead mice in these things. They just make a big mess of it. They just take all the insulation and they make little nests, and they just stink. But just to let you know, guys, it is possible to sell animal bones on eBay. Don't think there's any rules against it. You can list that sort of stuff if you want. There's certain ways to prepare it. I'm not really into that. I've thought about doing it before, especially when you see dead porcupines on the road, like roadkill. Their quills, if you can get long quills, their quills can sell on eBay. A bit off topic, but you know, an eBay seller, you gotta think about all these different things you can sell. Well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you're new. If you have any suggestions on videos you'd like to see, please let me know in the comments. Until next time, have a great day, guys. See you later.